How's it going, folks? This is Tony coming. How's it going, folks? This is Tony checking in with the first distance learning video that I'm going to be putting up. This is the first of many, so let's get started. First thing that I want to be able to discuss with you all are the expectations. This is a new time for us, and first thing we want to remind you is to breathe. We're all in this together, and we are all learning as we go. And the last thing we want is for you to feel confused or stressed out by this new way of work. I know a lot of us, we can get stressed out about this too, because this is out of our comfort zone and it's new for a lot of us. So we're all doing what we can. So don't stress out. We're going to get through this together. My main goal is to provide as similar an experience to our usual classroom routines as possible. With that being said, my main expectation is that you check in on my teacher site once a day for updates and info, and I'll show you more about my teacher site in just a minute. My other goals are pretty straightforward: to keep up with the work, do your best, and remember that we are here for you. If you haven't checked in with your other teachers, we strongly encourage you to do so. We'd love to hear from you and know how things are going, and know if there's anything we can do to help. Next thing I want to talk about is the schedule. So I try to keep it as close as possible to our usual block schedule, in that I will be updating my sets on Mondays and Wednesdays with assignments and lectures, while Tuesdays and Thursdays will be for work. Fridays will be for making up work and scheduling any one-on-one conversations that anyone might need to have with me. You can schedule a Microsoft Teams video conference if needed via email. I wanted to just give you all enough time to work on your assignments just like we usually do with our block scheduling. Hopefully this works for you. If it's not working for you, we will adapt and see what we can do. My digital office hours will be from 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. every weekday. However, I know that some people might not be available at those times, so I will be as flexible as possible with my availability. I want to be available for all students when necessary, so please reach out with any concerns or requests. Next is going to be the resources. So these resources are going to be all the different digital platforms that we're using while we transition to distance learning, and we all need to be on the same page. The upside is that the majority of these, I think all of them, can be found on your ClassLink. So for updates and general info, I'm going to be using Remind and my teacher website. And once again, if you look at your ClassLink, you should have all of these things in here. Of course, you've got Focus, which we all have used plenty of times. We also have Teams right here, this Learn at Home Teams, and then we have Remind. So Remind is a pretty easy one. It's a chance for me to send quick text updates, very short blurbs of information that'll redirect you to other things, longer assignments and lectures. But I'll use that often, maybe once a day if necessary, to send out quick messages, so that way everybody has an opportunity to find out what's going on in class. I also have my teacher website, which can't be accessed through ClassLink, but can be accessed through the SAIL website. So my teacher website looks a little bit like this. It's got redirecting links to all the different classes, so whichever class you're in, it'll redirect you. It's easy to find a teacher's website. You just have to hover on the Staff tab, go all the way to the bottom to teacher websites, and it'll give you a list of every teacher who has a website made. Mine's going to have updates on the front page, general updates. It's got my email at the bottom. It has my digital office hours. And on the left, each class has their own separate information page with the Remind links, information about Teams, Focus, email, of course, and updates here. So for assignments, we're going to stick with Focus. I cannot stress enough that Focus is going to be my preferred method for receiving work. If you've turned in work for me on Focus before, it's the same as always. You can upload it pretty quickly. Microsoft Teams we're also going to be using for me to assign work, mostly because Microsoft Teams, which if you haven't opened up your Microsoft Teams, you should already be added to your classes. Microsoft Teams allows us to post assignments and with a little bit more detail. This is going to be very helpful. So far, we have this quarantine writing prompt, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And if I click on the student view, this is what it's going to look like for you. But Again, this is something that's already available to you. If you have issues with that, please, please, please let me know, so that way we can get you on the right Microsoft Teams setup. And lastly, the writing prompt that I was just talking about. I figured we'd start this off with a pretty straightforward one. So since we're getting back into our routines, we're going to start off with a simple one. For all classes, in approximately 100 words, explain what you have been up to during the quarantine. Examples might include reading a new book, picking up a new hobby, a new game that you started playing, a personal breakthrough you've made, maybe focusing on your art. The choice is yours. All I'm looking for is some insight into how you've been thriving or surviving during the lockdown. For example, I moved into a new house, which strange time to be doing that, but it certainly kept me busy, packing, unpacking, sorting, organizing, throwing stuff out. It's certainly been a nice distraction from all the craziness outside of this. And of course, when you're finished, upload your completed response to Focus, which once again, I prefer Focus more than anything, or Microsoft Teams. If you have questions, folks, please, please email me, send me a message on Remind, reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and let's see where this goes. All right, take care.